Let's talk more about what we can expect tonight. Syndicated columnist Charles Krauthammer is back in our bureau. Charles, I want to start with kind of the breaking news that we heard today. The president saying that the time is right, he thinks, for immigration legislation as long as both sides are willing to compromise. What do you make of that?
I think that is huge news. That means that we can interpret all of this over-the-top stuff coming from the president on immigration from the day he announced the Mexican rapist speech as setting up a negotiation. If this is what he wants to do, he is the man who can do it. This is a Nixon to China kind of proposition, a guy who's been as hard line, has been accused of just about everything, talked about, the border enforcement with people going around in trucks, deporting people. If this president proposes, and you can see from his earlier indication when it comes to the dreamers, the young people brought here as children, he wants to legalize them. That would be the starting point. And then you get to the point, what do you do with the others who are not criminals? The deal has been waiting now for years and years. The Republicans would offer that, which is an enormous concession, but only if the Democrats support airtight, strong border security, and that means not just a fence or a wall or border security at the border, but things like a system to verify citizenship inside the country and a visa tracking program. If you get that, you can get a national consensus and put the immigration issue behind us.
I mean, it's pretty amazing if you think about what we heard on the campaign trail and what we're hearing now, and potentially what we're hearing tonight in this speech. The senior administration official saying that it could be a path to legalization, not citizenship for all illegal immigrants, but that a path to citizenship would be possible for the dreamers.
Well, that's exactly right, and that's exactly logical. And what it means that if you can get the agreement, the problem over time will disappear with the changing of the generations. I think if you came over illegally with children, you don't deserve to be a participant in the political system. Yes, we'll give you the rights to stay and to work and all that, but the citizenship will go to your children who were raised here. And over a generation, the problem ends up behind us. Look, Nixon made his reputation, elected to the Senate, by being incredibly anti-communist and anti-Chinese. He went to China. He's the only guy who could do it. Anybody else would have been called a collaborator and worse. If Trump wants to propose this, I think it will be a breakthrough.
But why stop there, Charles? I mean, if you get to that point and this president is thinking like that, is it possible that this president gets something like Simpson Bowles across the finish line? That this president starts thinking big in those terms where, long-term entitlements, not retirees now or anytime soon, but long-term entitlements and in the budget are all factored in?
I think that will be the key question on which it's a little early to talk about a president's legacy a month in, but that could be where it hinges. If he could be the one, and I don't know whether he can, because he's actually spoken very strongly and, if you like, from the heart on entitlements. That's been his appeal, differentiated himself from other Republican candidates. Christie, for example, who said we got to get serious about entitlements. And, of course, the congressional Republicans with Paul Ryan, who see this as the holy grail, and they are right in seeing entitlement reform as the most important thing. But Trump has made this a principle of his. If this is, as with immigration, simply a negotiating position to end up with a grand bargain where he gives on that, he gives on entitlement reform, then I think that could be historic. But on this one, I'm not sure he'd cross the Rubicon.
We will see what the speech looks and sounds like tonight, and we'll see you for post-analysis as well. Charles, as always, thank you.